Hello guys, this is a new channel that I'm making, and this is going to be a investment channel, and I'm now making my first video. So today I've got about 5 or 6 different investments, Counter-Strike investments that personally I've been keeping my eye on, and I think will be like very good long-term investments. As we can see, I've got the market cap up here, and I'm sure, as most of you will know, we had this massive crash here around October, what was it? October 25th. And we went all the way, well, this is just to disclose, this is the price and power market cap, which, as many of you probably know, is not entirely accurate, just as when they're using these red covert skins for the knife special item trade ups, they're not getting removed from this price tracker after they've been using the trade up. So it's adding the price of the the knife or the glove that's been made, but not taking away the price of the coverts that were used for the trade up. So this number probably is a little bit high, but I'm still just going to use it as like a general consensus of how the market's actually looking. And as we can see, we had this massive drop off where she went all the way down to 3.5 billion, and now we are sitting at about $5.7 billion, which is a massive increase. And looking at this graph, it looked like we're nearly back at this all-time high that we had around the 18th of October, but in reality, this is probably a bit lower, and we're probably looking more around like June, July kind of time period of 2025, maybe even early 2025 time period is probably my estimate of what the market's actually looking like, somewhere around there, a bit lower. Maybe we're sitting at about 5.1, 5.2 billion, but who knows? There's other things you can look at, like the esports index graph and stuff. I haven't got that up right now. So the first thing I was going to take a look at for a long-term investment is a lot of these cases right now, as we speak, are pumping in price. As I said, we had the covert trade up update, and that boosted the price of lots of coverts, and then now a lot of gloves and stuff and knives are all going back up closer to their original price, and some are going up even higher than they were before. So cases are looking really, really good right now, especially if we go and we look at the glove case here. The glove case, hold on, price stats and history. So if we go, so we look at this, around October 24th is around where the crash happened. They went all the way down to, they were about $11, $10-ish, and they went all the way down to about $7. But we look at this, this graph is absolutely mental. We look at this graph, they have absolutely pumped all the way up to $24. That's that's well over double of what we had before the market crash. So that's absolutely insane. And not all cases have done this. A lot of them are going up in price. I think there's still a lot of cases you can buy for a very good price at the moment after the crash, which will probably have which in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years will have some pretty big price increases. So we go back and we'll have a look at the ones that I think will do really well, and that I'll probably be keeping an eye on myself. So I'm going to start with the fracture case, which was recently removed from the active drop pool. It is currently cheapest price history, sitting at, we go 3 months. So the crash was about here. So before the crash, so they got, actually, no, start here. They got removed 17th September-ish. I don't know exact date. They went all the way up to about 48 cents. They kept going higher and higher, about 52 cents. And then we crashed all the way down to 32 cents. There's no way you can get a fracture case right now for, how much is that? Oh, 25 cents. If a fracture case right now, you can buy it for 25 cents, that's an absolute steal. But even I was saying that about 35 for a cheap discontinued case under about $1. That's an absolutely great deal. In my opinion, I'll be buying loads of these if I was looking at cases. It'd be stock and storage units full of fracture case, just because they're recently removed from the active drop pool. They've got good skins, pretty decent knives. You can get skeleton rubies and stuff from it, all that kind of stuff. And for 35 pence, I really don't think you can go very wrong. Like, it's so easy for this to double in price. Like, it literally takes like not that long for him to go to like from 30 pence. Sorry, I'm saying pence because I'm in England, but 30 cents to 60 cents. Sorry, I've got to get used to dollars and cents and not pounds and pence. But yeah, 30 cents to 60 pence. Oh my God. 30 cents to 60 cents is not that big of an increase. So it's really easy to double, triple, quadruple your money if you were going to buy a cheap case like the fracture case. And that could be said again for any like recently removed under $1 case. If we look, maybe, well, I'm not going to go on it, but for example, where is it? Snakebite case. If it's here, yep, snakebite case, recoil case. These are another two fracture, recoil, snakebite, probably my favorites. As cheap cases goes, and then a little bit more expensive. Actually, the clutch case is a little bit slept on in my opinion, but I think, where is it? Is it here? Yep, the Danger Zone case is a really good deal right now. It's got good knives, good skins. Oh my God, I keep scrolling down to see the price charts, but I forget how to click on this. Sorry, this isn't the smoothest video. It's my first one, but I'll be definitely making some improvements from here on out. It's my first go at this, so just bear with me. Here we go. Price history. Once again, we crashed from all the way $1.42, and then I guess he's a bit like people forgot it was that cheap, and then wow, that goes all the way down there to 52 cents, and now we're sitting at about $1.10, which for me, again, I think this is a really good point to buy in, because we were up so high back in around middle of 2025-ish. Yep, it pumped all the way up, and now we're down quite a lot from there. So I think this is another really good case to buy into at this specific price point. And maybe we'll look at one more, because I don't want to make this video too long. What case do I like? I've bought a lot of Spectrum 2s. I think they're really good, but I think they have gone up in price. They have pumped a little bit, not as much as a lot of other cases, but they are up. But still, I think they're decent buy, but I'd probably still rather go for the cheaper cases like the fracture, the recoil, and the snakebite case at the moment. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Those are probably my favorite cases to buy at the moment. Danger Zone as well. And we'll move on to, oh yeah, I have one more case lined up actually. The Fever case, and as we all know, this is actually still in the armory. But the thing that I like about the Fever case is that in the armory, it costs about 80 cents to redeem each of these. So each of these is 80 cents in the armory to redeem one. But at the moment, you can currently buy them for cheap as 65 cents. So instead of having to grind out all your stars and play the game and buy armory passes to grind and grind and grind, you can just buy them for cheaper than you would get them in the armory for, basically. And this is such a good case, good knives, good skins, print stream. That's a really nice skin, actually. Yeah. But yeah, it'll be probably, this case is most likely to get removed soon. I'm not sure how soon. It could be after the major, it could be in half a year from now. It's making Valve a load of money because loads of people love this case, so it could even be a year from now. But as we've seen, stuff has been coming and going from the armory, so there's a good chance of this getting discontinued. And the good thing about a discontinued case, it doesn't even go in your rare drop pool. There's no more of these being made. So if you were to pick up a load of these now, then 3, 4, 5 years time, I reckon, like, even there'll be an initial spike as they're removed. So the 65 cents you spend now might even double from the initial spike, maybe more, maybe less, but it'll definitely go up. So you'll make money in the short term when this is eventually removed, and in the long term as well. Because if we think about discontinued cases such as the Riptide case, broken fan case, even the shattered web case, which is not a very good case, but it's still about, I think it was about £4, $5 ish for a not very good case. This case is 10 times better than the Operation Broken Fan case, and if it becomes a discontinued case, I can't see why this thing doesn't 4, 5, maybe even 10x in the next 4 or 5 years. So honestly, I think this is a really, 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 really good case to buy. And especially we see with the Genesis terminals, Valve, like all the gambling regulations and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think cases are such a good investment, and the cheap rare drop ball cases and the Fever case are probably all of my go-to cases. So moving on, we've got another Armory, well, ex-Armory item, and this is going to be the graphic design collection. So recently, this collection was actually removed from the Armory a few months ago, 2-3 months now, maybe even longer. I can't remember, but when I had my Armory stars, I was redeeming loads of these just because I really thought it was really slept on. And now, well, I mean, I would have made so much more money if I just bought the skins, but what's the fun of it? I enjoy the gambling aspect of it sometimes as well. So I was buying Armory passes and redeeming stars on this collection. And honestly, I got nothing good. I think, yeah, I got some. I don't think I even got a purple. No, sorry, I don't think I even got pink. I got a few purples, loads of blues, all that kind of stuff. But I did actually get a factory new Glock Axia from the Sport and Field collection, which is really good. That's about $150, maybe even more. And it's not even removed, so that's going to go up a lot. But that's aside the point. We're talking about the graphic design collection here. And what I have been looking at is items such as the CMYK and the Desert Eagle Starcade have gone all the way from, so in September, this is when they were removed, I'm pretty sure. They were around $700. No, the factory new is not such a good example. Let's look at the minimal wear one. Here we go. This is a better graph. The factory new one is up, but this one shows it even more. Like, this is absolutely crazy. So before it was removed, you could buy a minimal wear CMYK for about $300. And it was removed. It went all the way up after it was removed. So this is why Armory stuff is so good, because it gets removed and it never comes back. So people, especially if it's demanded, people are willing to pay higher and higher and higher and higher prices for all of these items. So it went all the way up to 837. As we know, the big crash happened. It went down to 435. And even in this crash, it's still like 50% from when it was before it was removed from the Armory. And now, the skin has been absolutely pumping from about $500 all the way up to $1,000, which is a mental graph. So if you were to buy this before it was removed, this is speaking for any Armory collection. We can talk about train collection, sport and field collection, overpass collection. Like, if you get one before it's removed, it gets removed, absolutely pumps. Look, like, this is just insane. Like, how can you look at this and say, yeah, this would be a bad investment for the next stuff within the Armory? But the thing I'm getting onto here is that these have gone up so much in price that surely everything else in the collection kind of has to follow. But then if you look at something like, for example, we have a look at maybe a AK-47 crossfade. Hold on, if it loads. Maybe the MV. Oh my god, of course this happens. Okay, we'll come back to this. We'll go on to the next thing, but what I'm thinking about this, where I was going, I probably can't show the graph because my internet's being a bit slow now, it's not loading. But these skins haven't gone up anywhere near as much. Like, if anything, they're down. They all went, here we go. Oh, it's just refreshed itself. There we go. Like, look at this. Like, before, 4, and then all the way up to about $9, crashed down to about $5. But if you see that other graph, we were all the way up here. We've not even gone back to all-time high yet on these lower tier items in this collection. Like, we're still sitting around $9. And I think they're just, for what they are, it's just way too cheap. And in the long term, these are going to be such good collection. such good investments if you just buy up loads of these lower tier collection items that can be used for trade ups, factory new, minimal wear. If I was buying them, I'd probably buy factory new, but I mean, minimal wear and field tested are still going to go up as well. So it's really whatever you want to do. But if you look at this, we're like, really, this should, like, if you look at the CMYK graph, it was going absolutely crazy. Why wouldn't these go crazy as well? They're in the same collections. They'll be used to trade up to CMYK. It's discontinued. No more being created. They're just going to get rarer and rarer and rarer as more are traded up, and it's going to increase in price. So I really think these are such a good investment. This video's taken a lot longer than I thought it would, but we're going to crack on still because I've got three more things to go through, but we'll go through these quicker. So first, I have picked the character craft sticker pack, and it's the same reason as the last thing with the Fever case and the graphic design collections and all the armory stuff, is that this stuff, when it's removed, is not coming back. It's only a limited amount of them, and these stickers are so popular with crafting. Crafting is more popular than ever. Stuff like From the Deep, Ribbon Tie, Flex, even like Fly High Chompers. They're absolutely great investments in my opinion, because they're just going to get used in crafts. People loving crafting, people love these stickers. They're going to get rarer, and more expensive. And they're so cheap at the moment. Look, like even the ribbon tie is probably one of the most expensive ones for the blues, and it's only about 44 cents. Like you could buy loads of these. Like I'll be 77 cents for that. 43 cents. I don't know why it says 22 to 43, but if you get these for 22 cents, that's an absolute great deal. And definitely will make you loads of money. Well, hopefully it will make you loads of money in the future, but I can think of zero reasons why not, unless Valve are absolutely new for the market, which is always a possibility, but honestly, I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, I would probably stay away from more of these higher tier ones and focus on these cheap low tier ones that are being used loads and loads in crafting and stuff like that, because like they're just going to go up in price. And it's the exact same with that elemental craft stickers of people, when these get removed, they're going to have an initial surge of price, pump of price as they get removed. So if you buy them all now for these prices, like I think like stuff like the high heat or the scorch loop, 15 cents for the scorch loop, like that's going to instantly go up as they're removed. It's going to have a little spike, and over time it's going to get used more and more because these are so popular in crafting. There's millions of crafts with these on. Actually, I don't know about millions, that's probably an over exaggeration, but there's loads of them. People love them. So I think these are just such a good investment to buy with the low tier cheap ones. Look, just buy loads of them and hold on to them, because I see no reason why these won't go up. And finally, we're going to go to the glove collection, and this is the exact same thing I've got with the the graphic design collection that I had open earlier. It's like this case I mentioned at the start, absolutely pumping. The buzz kills all the way up to $1,160. But it's the same thing with all of these low tier skins. Like they haven't followed the same kind of trajectory on the price charts as these high tier skins. And I just think that eventually these are going to have to catch up, and these will definitely go up in price to catch up with these high tier skins, because they're just going to get used loads and loads while they're cheap for trade ups. They're just going to get more and more expensive. Like even now, you can already see they're having a big price hike from where they were, so they've already gone up like $1, but I still think like some of these are just so cheap and such a good deal for what they are. People love the glove case. I think this is probably the worst investment that I've mentioned out of all the ones I've mentioned today, and probably the most risky, but I still think it's just a great investment to make. So yeah, that's my first investment video. I hope you liked it. I'm sorry I'm not the best at speaking to a camera. I did my best. Stumble over my words sometimes, and it's the first time doing this, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did want to see some more investment idea videos from me and some tips, looking at the market updates, looking at trade up items, cases, collections, all that kind of stuff, then drop me a subscribe, drop me a like, leave a comment, like if there's anything you want to say, you want me to talk about, you want me to show in my videos, you got any questions for me, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm happy to happy to chat with anyone really in the comments. So yeah, and I'll be making more videos from now on, coming up with new investment ideas every week, maybe investments of the week, investments of the month. We'll see, all that kind of stuff. Because there's loads of things I could talk about. As you see, I didn't think this was going to take this long. I've picked like 5, 6 different things. I thought it was going to be like 5, 10 minutes. I don't know how long this video has been going on for, but it feels way longer because I've just been waffling this whole time. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.